I'm here to talk about the new horror movie The Innocents. Let's get into it. The Innocents is a horror movie written and directed by Leslie Linka Glatter. It stars Devin Druid as a young boy named Aiden who moves with his mom and her fiancé to a new home in the suburbs. But it turns out that their new house has a dark secret. When Aiden starts having visions of children being murdered in the basement of the house, he tries to warn his mother and her fiancé, but they don't believe him. So now Aiden has to team up with the ghost of a little girl named Clementine to stop the killings before it is too late. Now, if you've seen the movie, there is no doubt that you're still wondering what the hell just happened and what does it all mean. And that's because the movie leaves a lot of things unexplained. So let's try to clear some of this up. First, let me talk about the film's use of jump scares. There are very few jump scares in this movie, which is rare for a horror film these days. In fact, there's only one scene where the movie uses a jump scare and it's actually pretty effective. This is a good movie if you hate jump scares and cheap thrills. But if you love psychological horror movies, this is definitely for you. This movie will mess with your mind and make you question what's real and what isn't. To me, the scariest part of this movie was the ending. I won't give any spoilers, but when I saw the ending, I had to ask myself, am I really watching this or is this happening in real life? That's how messed up this movie is. The acting in this movie is top-notch. By the way, and I gotta give a special shout out to the young actor who played Aiden. He did such a great job. You can tell that he really put a lot of work into his performance. His character, Aiden, is a very troubled young boy who has a lot of anger issues. And the young actor did a fantastic job of portraying that. There were times when I was watching this movie that I actually felt bad for Aiden, even though he's the one who's haunting people and killing people. Speaking of haunting people, let's talk about the score of this movie. The score of this movie is absolutely amazing. There's one song in particular that really stood out to me. It's called Haunted. The song is about a young boy who's haunted by the ghosts of his past, and the lyrics are really haunting. The music in this movie is so good. It really adds to the overall tone and atmosphere of the film. Another thing that I really liked about this movie is the cinematography. The movie is shot in a way that really makes you feel like you're in the same room as the characters. There are some really cool camera angles and shots in this movie. For example, there is a scene where Aiden is walking down a hallway and the camera follows him in a very unconventional way. It's shot from a low angle and it makes it seem like Aiden is being followed. But not everything about this movie is great. One thing that I didn't like was the pacing. The movie starts out pretty slow and it takes a while to get going. However, once it does get going, it doesn't stop. I also thought that the ending was a little bit too ambiguous. I understand why the director chose to leave some things unexplained, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. Overall, I think that The Innocents is a really good movie. It's not your typical horror movie. It's a psychological horror movie that will mess with your mind. If you're looking for a good psychological horror movie, then I would definitely recommend The Innocents. Now, before I end this video, I want to hear from you. What did you think of The Innocents? Let me know in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.